Welcome to this episode of Small Bike Stuff. Is the ECU shop next stand official? ECU worth buying. It's the cheapest ECU I could find for the Honda Wave. It's also available for the Honda Grom and a whole bunch of other bikes using this Honda 125 engine. I saved money buying the ECU. I had to go pay for a professional dyno. Was it cheaper overall than the next best option that most people use? I'm here to show you what my opinion is. Stay tuned, there's not many videos of this in the English language with people comprehensively explaining the full stand next ECU, and I'm really excited to show you. I do have to get it warmed up, so I'm going to go start it up now and we'll get it warmed up to temp and I'll run you through the different features of this ECU and what it's capable of. So this is the FULLSTAND Next ECU, and basically this whole thing runs off Bluetooth. So I'm actually a little bit away from the bike at the moment, as you can see, and we'll see if it will connect or not. It takes a bit of time to connect, even when it's close by. So this is one of the things that you do need to deal with if you're wanting to make a quick change on your ECU. And look, we're too far away. I'm going to have to move closer. And to be honest, the bike's gassing me out at the moment. So I'm going to go put this outside to warm up so I don't die. And then we'll come back inside and I'll show you exactly what the app's capable of. Alright, sweet, so we're up to temp. The reason I wanted to get up to temp is because you can only change things and muck around with the settings on this thing and when you're actually up to temperature. So, there we go, we're focused now. Now if we head back, this is your main screen and this is what it looks like here. And basically you've got your RPM there in the middle. You've got an AFR light there, which we're going to ignore because we've actually tuned it according to a dyno with a wideband up the exhaust, which means this AFR reading is no longer accurate because it's coming from the head, which is before the point where it needs to be measured. You've got your TPS, so the load on your throttle, the map, and the duty as well. So the duty, how much your injector is actually being used, what percentage of output it's using. And then you've got your battery meter down the bottom there, and you've got your pressure as well, like air pressure in the local area as well, so that's pretty cool. Tune. So you've got a whole bunch of things. You've got calibration. So if you jump into the calibration screen, you can basically play around with your TPS and your throttle and change the settings of it. Mine's 100% fine. I don't need to do that. I'm going to get out of there. Injector. This is the screen we use mainly at the dyno. You've got basic tuning where you can do a few things. I can't actually open basic tuning because now we've done advanced tuning. Once you've set something on advanced tuning, if you go back into basic, it will wipe the complete advanced tuning map. So, once your bike's tuned, don't touch it. So it's loading at the moment, and you can see my map there. I explained this map a little bit more in the last video about the dyno and how we had to correct the different percentages on the fuel map. And as you can see there, we've got -10 to +25%, so you can take out 10% fuel and you can add up to 25% more fuel load from the injector right across the rev range. And look, we've had a disconnection from the app. This is somewhat common. It's probably because of distance, but I'll try connect to it again from this distance and see what happens. This is something you need to be aware if you're buying this ECU. It does disconnect from the app every now and then, periodically, but you can easily reconnect just by tapping the reconnection button down the bottom left. Too far away. I might move the camera closer and we'll see what we can do. Yes, no, maybe, I don't know. Come on. Maybe if we go closer. So this can eat up a bit of time, and it is somewhat annoying. And when you're at the dyno and you're paying per hour. Now, I've noticed when it won't connect 2 or 3 times, turn the bike off. That turns the ECU off, of course. Leave it off for a few seconds, turn it back on. Start the bike up. Jump back into the connection screen. And we should get some positive reaction here. And there we go, we're back. Okay, that's a real life use of this app. That's kind of what happens every now and then. Go into the tune screen, we've got ignition timing. You've also got that same ignition timing map that a similar map to what we had on the fuel, but obviously it's to do with ignition timing. So you can remove a whole bunch of timing or add up to 3 degrees. So you can go negative 50 degrees up to 3 degrees advanced timing, and we've just added 3 degrees of timing right through the rev range except for the highest point of the rev range. So it's pretty cool. Once again, ignore that AFR meter there because we no longer, we did not tune using that, so we no longer have to pay attention to it. Idle and ramble. Now, you can muck around with the idle tuning itself, but the ramble is the one most people like. The ramble tuning, the ramble technology, sorry, can only be done when the bike is above 65 degrees, or above 60 degrees, sorry. But if I hit plus, and now I've got a lumpy cam. Diddle-it, 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 like a galloping horse. 2. Slightly different. 3. The first 4 or 5 are very similar. So you can see it's just pulsing there. Jump into number 6. It's like a faster pulse basically. Number 7. This one's doing a kind of a all over the show kind of thing, if you understand my diddle-oos in relation to revs. And this one's a real slow pulse. But I don't like any of them, so I'm gonna go back to 0 and we're good. Alright, now you've got your compensate screen, so you can change the amount of fuel going in at the temperature of your engine. So it says water here because that's the way they've determined the app and made the technology, but it's actually oil temp or engine temp that we're looking at here. There's a temp sensor in the engine, and we're up at around 100 degrees now, so we've got from above 70 degrees onwards, the compensate screen here is running warm, and basically it's putting the correct amount of fuel in. If I change that to like 1,000, it means at 100 degrees it would add quite a bit more fuel at that level. Remove from here, we've also got analyze, so you can basically just watch. And you can capture that if you want to, or pause. Now, we've got TPS enrichment, so you can play with the fuel. You can just start the fuel when the bike's off if you want to. We've got a data log over here, but this is the one that the people are here for. This is our launch control, so you can set a launch control for 5,000 RPM. And basically, I haven't played with it. We need to go play with this, so I'll make a specific video about it. But one thing I do know that works is the anti-lag. So you've got the anti-lag option there. We want the anti-lag to go on at 7,000 RPM. We want to add 50% more fuel. Yep, that's okay. That's the max we can add. We'll do 7,500 RPM. Now this isn't something you want to get in the habit of doing every day, but it is possible. So it would be rude not to do it. So we're going to send that through to the ECU. Every time you make a change you need to hit send. If you don't hit send, the change will not happen, and that's a trap you can run into with this system as well. We've got anti-lag. I've got a GoPro on the exhaust there. I'll make sure it's going. So what you can see there is that this is letting me at 30% TPS, which is the throttle reading, let it sit at 7,000 RPM, and then when I want, if I just slam it wide open, we'll be 100% fine. And it'll keep going and it won't leave you at 7,000 RPM. I hope that makes sense. We've dropped Bluetooth, so. I've got to be quick. The engine's getting up quite in temp now because we're sitting here and it's an air-cooled engine. I don't want to do too much more. So I'm going to show you a couple more things and we'll be good to go. Alright, so I've just had to restart it. And now what we're actually going to have to do is we're going to have to go into the... Yep, we're going to have to go into the digital I/O. And because I lost the app connection while I was doing the last process, the anti-lag will still be engaged. So we want to send that we've turned it off. We've unticked it, we're hitting send, and we're good to go. Cool. That's off. We'll go to launch control. and we'll do this at 7,000 RPM, and we'll tick it, yep, and we'll hit send. And this is the one all you folks at home have probably been waiting for. A little bit of flame. And once again we've lost connection. But that's about it. That's what this thing's capable of. And there we have it. That is the FULLSTAND Next ECU and its capabilities. Does it disconnect from Bluetooth? Yeah, sometimes. Is that an issue? Yeah, it's a little bit annoying. But for the price, I'm pretty happy with it. It was about 300 New Zealand dollars landed. I bought it from WeBike Thailand. WeBike is a Japanese website that I used to buy a lot of parts from, but they've got a Thai subsidiary. And because ECU Shop Official, they're a Thailand-based tuning shop for mainly turbo diesel utes. But they've made this motorcycle ECU as well, and it has its benefits in the respect that we were able to make it work. We did have to have the correct injector size because the huge injector that we did have, we couldn't bring down the load enough, and the smaller injector that we had could accept the larger load, so that was okay. So it may not be just a plug and play thing for you. It definitely wasn't for me. I had to take it down to the dyno to get the accurate loading on the bike and make sure it was tuned all the way through the rev range. Yes, you could technically do that on the road, but my gosh, after spending 3 to 4 hours at the dyno, I really can't see how that would be an efficient, accurate process on the road. We were tuning this thing at full throttle, half throttle, 75%, 25% throttle, and you can't do that accurately on the road. You can't just hold it at 25% throttle for 2 Ks at a time, which you can do very easily on the rolling road. I'm happy with it. Jump on my description and I will give you a link through to the one that I bought. Do not just buy the same ECU that I bought for my bike and expect it to work for yours. Have a look through. They had Honda Wave 2015 to 2017 or 2012 to 2017, which is one model. They had Honda Wave before that. They have the new Honda Wave. They've got Honda Monkey, Honda Grom. They've got different ECUs for each bike. If they don't have your bike listed, don't buy one because it might not work. And yeah, is this an endorsement of ECU Shop Official Thailand? Kind of, not really. I messaged them and they were super unhelpful, and I've talked to a few other tuners around the world that have used this and made videos about them. I'll chuck one guy in the description here who had until, who actually I messaged because I can't think of his name at the moment, but he's the only other guy with a, I'm going to find it, I need to give him a shout out. Bill Ramsayer. He's got 8,270 subscribers. And he's done quite a bit of tuning and stuff on different things. Yeah, anyway, I'll link him in the description as well. I flicked him a message because he was the only other person I saw with the FULLSTAND Next video. It's got 8,600 views. It was a year old, and he battled with ECU Shop as well to get the official cable that's supposed to come with the ECU, so you can connect it to a laptop. But according to them, when I messaged them and asked for this system, they said, sorry, that's only for dealers, and there's already a New Zealand dealer for ECU Shop Official, so you can't have it. So we tuned with the Bluetooth app, which turns out is exactly the same as their computer technology. The software that they use on the computer, if you are a dealer and you do get it, is just the app replicated on a computer screen with a solid connection that goes with the cable, so it would probably work better. You wouldn't have the disconnection issues, but yeah, it worked for me. It cost me about $500 New Zealand for the dyno. It cost me about $300 for the ECU, and yeah, you're looking at about $800 to get this thing tuned. To get like an AC Mini Racer 5, or to get DynoJet, the other brand, I can't think of what it is, I'll throw it on the screen now. That's going to cost me like over $1,000 New Zealand. So yes, I saved money. Was it worth it? Yes. I had friends helping me out along the way. We built the engine together. Yeah, so I'm happy with it. And now that it's tuned, I'm stoked. So I don't need to do anything else. Yeah, I'm pretty stoked. It spits flames. What more could you want? If you like this video, subscribe. I've got another channel, Moving Our World. It's basically this kind of stuff with just any vehicle. I go around and check out cars from 1931 to forklifts to Aston Martins to diggers and tractors, and it doesn't really matter what. So yeah, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time on Small Bike Stuff, and yeah, thanks for your patience. Cheers, bye.